Hi and welcome back to Fit by Habit. Today is another of those kind of more like technique videos. I want to talk about wrist mobility and stability because a lot of times doing Pilates and workouts in general can be quite hard on the wrist, and we want to strengthen the wrist and protect them at the same time. So this is just kind of like, again, it's not a miracle kind of like video, do this and then you won't ever feel any pain in the wrist. It's more like what can you be aware of and what to do to warm up your wrists and so on, and stretch them out. So let's start by stretching the wrists a little bit. So what I like to do is just to rotate my arm so the palm faces up, grab the fingers and then just slide and then just push my fingers backwards. Not too much. You don't want to press your body too much, but just to feel a slight stretch in your wrists. Good. And then you can do the opposite where you twist, so your hand palm is facing down, and then pull the fingertips backwards towards yourself. Kind of like the same, but the rotation makes a little difference. Okay. Let's do that on the other side, so flipping so the palm is facing up. Good. Yes. And then the other side, or the other direction. Good. Another stretch you can do is you can place your hands like this. I like to do this one at a time. I don't feel comfortable placing both my hands like this and then laying weight on them. Some can do that, and if you can't, go for it. I like to do this, and then you just slightly pulling your hips, your body backward when you're doing this. It's also a great stretch for your hips. Good, and on the other side. Good. You can also flip your palms so the root of the hand is pointing forward, and then you just slightly sit back, pull back away from your hands. It's very small movements, you barely see me doing anything, but trust me, it works. Good. Now, let's talk about the placement of the hands when you're doing Pilates or any other type, but where you are staying on your hands. So if you're on all fours, hands and knees, what you have to think, spread out your fingers. Don't do your fingers together. Spread out your fingers, and then create a little space between here right where your palm is. So you're pressing down with the root of your hand and your fingertips. So really almost like wide fingertips, that much you want to press. And then also think about your shoulders. So your shoulders, instead of dropping them down like this, try to think about the chest bone. So let's try it. So try to drop your shoulders down like this, and then focus on your chest bone here, and then lift your chest bone off. It should almost come past the shoulders, so you're really squeezing your shoulders as much upward as you can. And when you do that, you're stabilizing your hands and your wrists the best. So the shoulders are very important as well to maintain your wrist stability. Now, and if this is still a bit too much, you can totally roll up your mat, or even find a towel, a small pillow, whatever, and then place your hands in like this. This helps a lot for the wrists too. So where you're placing the root of the hand here on the edge, it helps a lot on the ribs. So yeah, that's kind of like the placement of your hands, how you want to place them when you're doing these exercises, what you want to focus on. I have 3 exercises I think we should try, where the focus is not kind of like the exercise itself, but focus is on the wrists. So here on all fours, hands and knees, we're going to do donkey kicks. So think about that. Spread your fingers out as much as you press with the root of your hand, press with your fingertips, lift your shoulders up, and also protect your lower back. So in with the belly, and squeeze your abs. Then donkey kicks. You flex one foot like this, and then you're just going to kick up like this. So you exhale, kick the leg up, and inhale down. And try not to open into your hips. Square your hips off. But then again, focus on your wrists here. You have a slight bend in your elbows, not like this. Then it's going to be too hard. The shoulders are still directly under the wrist, but you have this slight elbow, so you don't lock out your arm. That's going to hurt and not feel that great. So, small bend in your elbow. Good. Now let's take it to the other side. Just so we're evening it out now that we are here doing this, even though it's not the exercise itself, that's the focus here. But try to think about all the other things you have to do to keep stable. So squeezing your abs in, protecting that lower back, lifting your chest bone up, stabilize with the shoulder, press with your fingers, the root of your hand, slide elbow in, slide bend your elbow, a lot of things going on, but it's all necessary to keep that stabilization and protection of the wrists and everything else in general. But also, if you feel like you're dropping into your lower back or something, then you start to compromise other places, and then you start to lose focus on the wrists and all of that. So that's why it's important. It's important to keep stabilized, to focus on all these things, so you make sure that you're protecting your body at all times. Okay, let's try another exercise, and that is the plank. Now, a plank, you can choose if you want to stay on your knees or toes, doesn't really matter here. But when you are in your plank, it's the same things that apply. So again, you don't want to stick your butt up like this. Pull in your abs, tilt in your pelvis a little bit, and press into your shoulders. Keep that slight bend. Press as much with the root of your hands as your fingertips, and then you feel stable. You're shaking, it's hard, but you're stable. I feel so stable right now, even though I'm shaking like crazy. I don't think anyone could flip me if they wanted to. I'm sure they would, but I feel very stable here. And I know because I have placed my hands, my wrists, my shoulders, everything exactly where it's supposed to be. Okay, now I have a little bit more of a challenge exercise for you. It's called, it has different names. Someone calls it military plank walk, or military, and someone calls it up, up, down, down. What we're going to do is you're going into the plank like this. Again, you can choose to stay on your knees. I might think I'm going to do that because the focus is not the plank itself, it's the placement of the knees. So yeah, let's stay on the knees here. So what we're going to do is you're going to place your elbows down so you come into an elbow plank. What I want you to do is to place your elbow exactly where the root of your hand was. So you're coming down, there, and the other side, there. Then you place your hands directly, so now your elbows are directly under your shoulders. Then you place your hands directly the same spot again. So there, and there. And then switch sides, so down, down, up, up. Focus on placement of the hands. And when you come up, grip tight with those fingertips again. Don't slacken this. Keep it steady, keep it controlled. This is a very hard exercise. So I think it's good we did it on the knees. Good. And don't push that butt up again. So let's do one more. So down, down, up, up. Oh, let's do one more each side. We can do that. So down, down, up, up. But you're placing your elbows and your hands exactly the same spot. The last one here, up. Good. Oh, I even got a little sweat here. That is a hard exercise, but this was just to, focusing on that wrist alignment with hand placement and wrists protection and stabilization. So this is a great video to do if you want to practice the technique and focus on this. But I really think that last exercise, up, up, down, down, really helps that wrist control and stability. The same with the plank, where you kind of like play with it a little bit and explore when I'm stable and when I'm unstable in this plank. Because when you are doing all of those cues I gave you, and you are so stable in the plank, and then you can stay there forever almost if your core allows it. But you know, you get the idea. So this was a small, quick, what can you do, which exercise are good to use for practice. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!